giving a little bit of information from her experience through the COVID and everything that happened with her in the jab. So we're going to talk about that real quick. I'll try and use code words, knowing that we are synchronizing, guys, with StreamYard through StreamYard for the YouTube platform. So with certain words, just be conscious of what I'm talking about. All right, guys. So basically, I'd like to introduce once again Nurse Veronica. Veronica, would you like to say hello real quick?
Hi, I'm Veronica. Thanks for inviting me, having me back.
Definitely, definitely. And just again, Veronica, for anyone that was not here for the previous segment we had, would you tell them a little bit about yourself, your nursing program, and the show that you do, and how they can reach out to you before we get started?
Yes, absolutely. I will comment on YouTube, so you have my YouTube page. But I am the owner of the Real Nurses.
You kind of cutting out, dear. Veronica, are you there? All right, we'll give it a second. Lisa, are you there, dear? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Great,
Hello.
great. Thanks so much
And
for joining us today. I have Veronica here as well, as I've introduced you guys. Just want to introduce you to the audience and yeah, tell them what's going on with you and the program, so on and so forth.
okay, can you repeat that just a little bit because the signal
Yes, I just wanted to
is cutting?
introduce you rather quickly. Yes, I'm having a little bit of a delay. I've had an issue with this Wi-Fi since I moved to Texas, unfortunately, dear. I do apologize. Thank you so much for the patience.
Okay.
Veronica, are you, I think she's coming back in now. I think she's having a bit of an issue. Oh, just a moment. Just a moment, Lisa, I apologize.
Okay.
Trying to get her back in. Let's see what's going on here. I apologize for the delay. But yeah, I just wanted you to introduce yourself and pretty much state like what your role is, what your specific job title is, and as far as what you do right now. And then we'll be getting into the discussion about some of your experiences, so on and so forth.
Yes. Hi, my name is Lisa. I'm a CNA. I work in a nursing home, um, Rochester, New York, and I'm here to talk about the COVID, the experience with the COVID, and the vaccine.
All right. And we can try and say the jab for that V word. And we'll just say the experience or something in the sort. Just for our YouTube, unfortunately, they do kind of block certain words, so we don't want to have this video flagged. So you guys
Okay.
can make sure you get this information out. I apologize for that, but they do have a little bit of restrictions going on, so on and so forth. Thanks so much for your patience. I apologize. And Veronica, are you back,
Okay.
dear?
I am back. I'm so sorry. There's some technical difficulties on my end, so I'm back.
Thank you, thank
But
you, thank you.
yeah, like I was saying, I am the owner of the Real Nurses of Detroit
Yes.
podcast, and obviously I'm located in Detroit, Michigan. And on my TikTok, I try to educate as much as possible. It's the name of my TikTok is the Real Nurse of Detroit, and also on my Instagram is Real Nurses of Detroit as well. And I just try to put out as much informative information as I can because you're not getting the entire story. The marketing, and they're targeting the urban areas, black and brown people, because they want more black and brown people in their clinical trial. So they're not publishing treatments that goes against the narrative because they want to make sure they see this clinical trial all the way through. And that's the truth. But they're not going to tell you that. And then I get flagged for misinformation because they don't want you to know the truth.
Of course, any truth
Yeah,
would be misinformation from their standpoint. When it comes to
absolutely.
that, Veronica, you said alternative methods. Are there some things that you can speak on rather quickly on that?
Yeah, there are some antibiotics that we are using in the hospital as well as some antivirals. One in particular we're using is actually treats HIV. However, this medication was previously used just like in the HIV epidemic in the 1980s. They will bring
Mm-hmm.
cancer drugs back that were taken off of the market that did not work for cancer patients, and they will make it an HIV drug from the antiviral standpoint, and they will give it to you, and they do things like this when it's an epidemic and just say this is the only drug we're using. They want everybody to be like go along with that narrative, and they don't want you to use anything else. Meanwhile, the nurse practitioners, PAs, doctors are like, wait a minute, this other drug like Bactrim can prevent the pneumonia that comes through, or
Mm-hmm.
azithromycin. They're like, no, it can't, because they don't want to hear that. And I just saw that Dr. Stella, the doctor from Africa, that they completely censored. She can't even post on Facebook. Nowhere.
Mm.
She can't be on Twitter, and she's still doing her thing. She's still giving the ivermectin, the hydroxychloroquine.
Yes.
And then they're mad that she's making money, and people are coming to her because she's giving people hope. She's speaking out and she's praying for people. I just don't understand how another provider can say something doesn't work and they never prescribed it. They never even treated. And that's the biggest thing I got. The biggest thing for me is considering the source. Because you got people in psychiatry, like for instance, what they'll do is they will pay another medical provider to come and harass me, because that's another nurse practitioner. But if you do some digging, you'll see that nurse practitioner works with children in psychiatry. You don't even treat COVID. Or I'll say, okay, y'all being a little racist, they'll get a young RN who also doesn't treat COVID. Nurses, number one, RNs and lower cannot prescribe, cannot treat, cannot diagnose, and cannot give advice. So there's no reason why you should be saying anything to me. Period.
Hmm.
So a lot of people are being paid, and I want people to know that. Some of these medical providers that are going hard on the yard, they are paid. They are paid $400 minimum per post. They invited me to promote the vaccine at $400 based on how many followers you have. So since I had 22,000 plus followers, they were going to offer me $400 per post since last year. Yes. And I got emails to prove it. I got all the receipts now.
I know you do, sister. It's crazy how all this is so tied into money, and people don't see how their lives are being put on the line for money's sake. It's all a ring. This whole game is what I call it, is a part of this show that they're putting on for everything to continuously fill their pockets, as you said. So when it comes to that, Veronica, you're saying that they have put some of those things in the forefront, as far as like what you guys know, in the differentiation with certain nurses or certain practitioners that are giving the true information. It's not like they can like get rid of them, but they're kind of shadow banning them, I guess you would say, putting them like in the back burner. Okay. And they're the ones that are giving the absolute healing, the true healing. Not to mention there are so many natural things we talked about before. Real quick before I want to talk more about that, Veronica. Lisa, is there anything that you've experienced or seen when it comes to like what's going on with that testing and the things of that nature? I wanted to hear your experience, and let Veronica hear your experience as far as some of the things. She told us about some of her patients before, the symptoms that they had, certain things that they were going through, so on and so forth. And I know that you did actually go through the experience of having contracted it, and we wanted to hear a bit about that from your standpoint and exactly what you're experiencing now. And it's nearly a year later, and you're still going through that at this point. Are you there, Lisa? I know it's a bit of a delay. Lisa, are you there? I know you're not used to this platform. I apologize. You may have to unmute yourself and may be muted if you're trying to speak. She may have stepped away. Veronica, go ahead and continue. I apologize for cutting you off there. So when it comes to
It's
that,
okay.
Haseen, yeah, go ahead. I just want to make sure that we were able to get in her standpoint from that. I wanted to hear since she had a little bit of experience, but she may have given us a moment because you were speaking there. But go ahead, please, and continue.
Yeah, well, I all I know is last March I have two young
Okay.
daughters in elementary age. Oh, I
You
think
want me
she's
to
back.
say that now? Because you're breaking in and out. I heard like
I
bits and
know.
pieces, but you want me everything that happened when I had the COVID up until now?
Yes, please. Would you give us your experience as to what you went through? You know, you not really having it, not being diagnosed with it, so on and so forth, via work. Then actually going into the facility, getting tested, then having it after, so on and so forth, and kind of talk about that part real quick.
No, I'm here.
Okay, go ahead. Talk about that, please.
Yeah, StreamYard does that sometimes where people can't hear you. It's in and out like you're driving.
Okay.
All right, sis, we can hear you now. Go right ahead.
Yes, I'm in and out. Need to tell my hello. Oh,
Yes, we can hear you. Go right ahead. Now it's jumping again. This is ridiculous. I apologize for this, Lisa.
okay. Um, okay. I um I tested positive in November on Thanksgiving. Prior to that, I I can oh no.
We can
Okay.
hear you, Lisa. Keep going, please.
Okay. I I tested on the Thanksgiving. And also, after before that, I was tested negative at work. Every time, we did it twice a week. Um, that was all negative. So I started getting symptoms as I was were going on. I as I was going on my vacation, and I'm like, something's not right, and I felt a little weak and dizzy and everything. So that night I came in the house, had little groceries with me. Went to the store, had little groceries with me. I sat down, but I still didn't feel right. So my breathing through. And I said, something is not right. I'm actually almost nearly holding on to the wall. Can you I, okay. So after that, I couldn't hardly see my phone. I started feeling funny all over my body. And I'm like, what's going on? What's going on? So I called the ambulance, 911, blah, blah, blah. After all of that, they came and got me and everything. My blood pressure was sky high off the roof. My blood sugar, never had nothing wrong with my sugar. All of a sudden, all of this was going on within my body. My breathing was terrible. I lost my smell, the taste. Um, After all of that, I was hospitalized for about a week. They took care of blah blah blah. And when I got a little bit better, got the pneumonia. So after that, I got the scarring on my lungs, and then I came home. My, my they came and helped me with everything that I needed, like washing, cooking, blah blah blah, because I couldn't get up and stand at the kitchen. What else? They put me on a lot of other medication. Three different. I'm on three different blood pressure medicines now as we speak. Now they want to give me a blood thinner. As we speak, just had an appointment the other day, and now now I've got a monitor on. It's in and high blood pressure. I had that before the COVID. And they're saying that I will be going into AFib. So I'm good. I'm at work now. So we have to everybody for the COVID, the vaccine. I did take one. I did. If they didn't mandate, I'm not going to. Um, I don't know. I don't know if everybody can hear me or not.
Yes, we can hear you great.
You said you went into
Can you hear me?
AFib. Was that after?
Okay.
Yes, we can hear you. Was the AFib after you took the vaccine or
Okay.
before?
It was the AFib. Was before. I had that problem before, but the medication that they put me on, I was taking it once, maybe twice a year when I got that fibrillation going. And now it's like I'm taking it every twice a week or maybe 3 times a week now.
How about your
So
thyroid? Did they ever check
they're
your
trying to figure out what's going
thyroid?
on. So they put this monitor on now, and they're trying to figure out where they're trying to catch my thyroid. I that was okay. I'm thinking because I did a little research on my own because of back prior years back scarlet fever, and I'm thinking it did something with my heart, and I don't know. They can't find it, and it could be one of my valves, I guess. That's
Yes.
what I'm thinking. Nurse, I'm just a CNA, but
Yeah. If you
that's
did
just
you
what I'm
have an echo
thinking.
of your
It
heart at all?
probably
Or
is,
did
but
you go to the cardiologist or have an echo
other
of
than
your
that,
heart?
I mean, my strength is okay for now. Muscles, still the same. I can get around and move around like I normally do, but I'm
Real
hurting
quick,
every
Lisa,
day. I'm in pain. I take Motrin once.
can you hear? I believe you're having a problem with your mic. Veronica's
They could
asking you a
not
couple of questions.
find
I think
any.
you can't hear.
They have, where your heart beats and then it beats fast.
Okay, Lisa,
Okay.
can you hear Lisa? I think we're having a problem with your
Oh,
mic,
okay.
dear. Okay,
Okay.
can you hear
You
now?
asked me about hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Can you hear me now? Can you I can hear you. It's like staticky a little bit, but okay. Okay. Now the last question you asked me was did I have the echo cardio?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello? Maybe I need to move around. Hello?
We can hear
I can
you.
hear
I
you.
don't know. Yeah. I believe it's something going on with your connection, Lisa,
Okay.
because the
I
Wi-Fi is
moved
actually
around
cooperating today. Yeah.
thinking maybe I need to move. Oh,
Right.
I don't know if it's me.
Or maybe go out and come back.
Okay, the
Sometimes you
last
just have
question
to
you asked me was the
reset.
echocardiogram.
Yeah, Lisa,
Yes.
hang up and go back, go out and come back in. It may be your connection. Just hang up, like go out and then come back in again.
You said did yes I
Yeah, go out and come back in again. Okay. Yeah, let's see if that helps because the Wi-Fi, I thought it was the Wi-Fi for a second, but it's actually cooperating today. I'm surprised. So, yeah,
Right.
thanks so much for your patience, Veronica. I know you've had a day at work today, and you came to give us some of this information. So, yeah, I really appreciate you as usual. But I wanted you to hear
No
some of these
problem.
experiences she was talking about, comparison to some of the stuff you were saying. I wanted her to elaborate more. Hopefully, when she comes back, we can ask her. There was some things with her hearing things and some other things going on. I believe there was some interaction with like the mental when it came to contracting that. So I definitely want her to touch on that with you and see if you'd heard
Hmm.
anything, familiar or on those aspects because a couple of her friends actually went through the same thing as well.
Okay. Okay.
Had you heard anything of the sort, like as far as any type of like?
Yes.
Really? Okay. So that's not
Yes.
age.
There's loss of smell.
You said there was a loss of smell? Oh, well, this is definitely StreamYard doing something with this because so far we are going fine, guys. I do apologize. There may be a connection issue with StreamYard, but we're going to keep it moving. Hopefully, it will straighten its kinks out. No, I can't hear you, Veronica. Maybe. It's got to be something going on with the StreamYard. I'm not sure. All right, guys, I'm going to give them a minute to come back. So, Veronica says she did hear some things going on with that. And okay, Lisa's back, guys. Lisa, Veronica's back as
Okay.
well. Veronica,
Yes. I'm sorry. I don't
oh, you
know
guys
what's
sound
going
great now. Let's hope it stays this way. Go ahead.
on. Oh
Goodness.
my goodness.
Perfect.
Right.
It's terrible.
Yeah, I do not like StreamYard for this reason. I use it too on my podcast. It's tough to work with. But basically, in your upper respiratory, you have cranial nerves, meaning the nerves that connect to your brain and your spinal cord. So, smelling and tasting and hearing are all a part of cranial nerves. And so
Okay.
I can tell you, like, cranial nerve number 8 is your hearing. Cranial nerve, you got one nose, so that's number 1 that's affected. And then your taste, that's like 11 and 10, and moving your tongue and stuff like that. So these cranial nerves are affected, and that's why it takes a long time if they come back. Because this virus crosses the blood-brain barrier. That's when it gets very dangerous. Viruses like
Exactly.
herpes and things like that, they like
Yeah.
to hide in the nervous system because we can't get to them. We can't get to them very easily to treat them. So that's why I'm like, we need to be treating this early onset. When you get symptoms, I don't care if you ain't got a COVID test or not. Call the telemedicine and get it treated. People are waiting because they were told to wait in the beginning of the pandemic, not to come to the hospital. No, there is nobody in the ICU. I told y'all last time it was 2 people in the ICU. That was 2 weeks ago. For the last 3 months, there is 1 person in my hospital in the ICU, not on a ventilator. They're not that sick. Usually people are coming in now 4, 5 months after they've been vaccinated, and they have strokes, they have enlarged hearts, they're passing out, um they're having other issues, long-term issues. I had somebody who had cancer and was vaccinated in May, and he's just now having enlarged nodules in his lungs and stuff like that. So what they're going to do is like, oh, this is not from coronavirus. It's got to be just a coincidence. It's not a coincidence. I do not believe in coincidences. There is a correlation, but they're going to downplay it, and that's what they're going to do. Even those that are, remember HIV has a 14 month incubation period, meaning if you got exposed today, you won't test positive for 14 months. So it's hard to say, okay, who gave you it? Number one, and that you have to correlate and think back that now that you have this pneumonia or this cancer, where did it come from? And then it takes a minute to say it was HIV. And so just like you have a lowered immune system with HIV, and then now you have cancer or a pneumonia, that could kill you. These pneumonias will kill you. You do not die from HIV. You die from the complications like cancer and pneumonia and neuropathy that live in the nerve. You die from that, the complications. So just like COVID, you do not die like Colin Powell, who just died. Yes, he had a cancer already, multiple myeloma, which is a blood cancer. And yes, he had Parkinson's, which is like Muhammad Ali and Michael J. Fox, where, you know, they're shaking uncontrollably. These are all in the nervous system. But then you bombard the nervous system with this vaccine. He was fully vaccinated. So you can't tell me, you cannot tell me that he didn't die from that's what they said. It was complications of COVID because you gave him that vaccine. He died from the vaccine.
Right. How you get complications from it when you've taken the vaccine, and that's supposed to prevent it. It's just a lie. So why take it? It makes no sense.
That's exactly it. What are we
Right.
doing here? You're making
I have
everything
one more-
worse, and they keep
more thing
saying
to
it's
add.
it's comorbidities. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead, Lisa.
I have one more thing to add. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. It's the ringing in my ears. It's like a constant 24 hours, 7 days a week. It never goes away, and it's constantly there. When I'm listening to people, I can hear them, but I'm still hearing the ringing. And I told my doctor that, and the doctor said that's another side effect of the COVID. So I'm constantly hearing this ringing.
It's the vaccine, not the COVID. It's the vaccine. And what you need to do is there's a supplement called alpha lipoic
This was
acid.
before the vaccine.
Before the vaccine, okay. But alpha lipoic acid, get that, try it. You take 600 milligrams 3 times a day. I've heard good things about it for those who lost their sense of taste and the ringing. However, just like those who have PTSD, the veterans that are coming back, they get this ringing in their ears because that's hearing damage. And with the nerves, unfortunately, once the damage is done, the damage is done. But I've heard good things about alpha lipoic acid. I don't know a lot about it, and I didn't have that symptom myself, but try that on an empty stomach 3 times a day. Look it up, do your research, and see if that brings it back.
Okay.
Lisa, I wanted you to elaborate on some of those the like voices and things that you and a couple of your coworkers were hearing during the time you were experiencing the symptoms.
Okay. Did you just say some of the symptoms that some of my coworkers had too?
Yes, I remember you speaking about some of the. I think you said there was like the voices. I remember you were saying you were hearing the voices. They were like you thought like you could hear certain people talking or
Yeah.
something, and you had
Yeah.
spoken to
Hallucinating. There was a lot of hallucinating blood clots. They were developing the blood clots. The hallucinating, that was a lot. That part was weird. I had an episode in the hospital when I came, and when they diagnosed me with that, and I started like thinking that I was hearing something, and I'm like, why am I hearing that? And I don't know what that is, but it was a weird experience. That hallucination, it depends. Like one of the can you hear me?
yes.
Okay. One of the coworkers said she's seen one of her family members. I don't know. It just was weird. She seen one of her family members and told she didn't want to go to the hospital, so she was laying in the bed and she couldn't get up and blah blah blah. She kept falling asleep. She couldn't get up, and they told her to get up now. And it was like a loud noise. But you know how you're in a dream and you're coming out of a dream and you still think you're dreaming. She said it was like that.
messing with the mental, all of those things like the connected nerves that Veronica just spoke about, all of that would have an effect on that. So being is that it was affecting the mental and the cognitive thinking is what it sounded like. That was all due to those nerves that you were talking about. Is that oh, Veronica, I didn't even know. I'm sorry. The nerves that you were talking about, Veronica, and what she's saying with the
Okay.
hallucinating, is that kind of part of that because of all of those nerves being connected is what you were talking about?
Yeah, my theory, because I had
Okay.
what we call delirium when the infection is in the brain, you can have some swelling, like we call meningitis, and it will have you, and some people also, like when you're going septic, it's not that you're not so you may hallucinate. I don't know. Like for me, I was very restless. I couldn't go to sleep. And I was just so uncomfortable, but I was so tired and I couldn't go to sleep. So I would call my friend at 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, this is not right. Something's wrong. Something's really, really wrong. She's like, this is not like you. What is going on? I'm like, I don't know. But older people, 60 and up, they can get it like a urinary tract infection and it can cause them to hallucinate, and it's called delirium. But once the infection is treated, then everything goes back to normal. So my theory is there may have been some brain swelling, or you just are feeling the infection is in your brain. It's affecting your brain, and so, and we're not treating this. That's what
Right.
kills me.
She
Like,
was
we're
she was
not
only
treating it.
39 years old.
Yeah, no, what I'm saying is you could have delirium with other things.
Yeah, she
Like
was
for
only
the
39 years
elderly,
old.
yeah, and I'm 40, so I shouldn't have been, we shouldn't be having that type of symptom. But like I said, it crosses the blood-brain barrier, and that's very dangerous and very scary. Anything in your brain
Mhm.
area that can
Yes.
infect it is very scary.
Yes.
So
Yes.
those blood clots, it's
It is.
so from what you're saying, Veronica, it sounds like with the infection and people that were developing like the blood clots, the infection within the blood clot actually going through the brain is what caused the delirium or the hallucinations that they were experiencing because of the infection within the body, period.
Well, there's receptors on every cell in your body, whether it's
Mhm.
a neuron or it's a kidney cell. There's these doors that are receptors. So some of them actually we give ACE inhibitors. So we have an ACE2 receptor, which like we'll say it's like a door, and it's
Mhm.
sticking out. And these are what the spike proteins connect to get inside the cell. So you have three doors that I know of. One is ACE2, the other one is CD26, and the other one is CD147. The pathway, so say CD147 is the back door and ACE2 is the front door. So if we have high doses of vitamin D, which is a steroid, so that's gonna keep the inflammation down, and it's also a vitamin, but vitamin D actually blocks that door. It connects to it, so then COVID can't connect. That spike protein can't connect to it. And we have CD147 receptors everywhere. We have them on in the blood vessel. We have them on the blood cell itself. That's why we start clotting, because once it gets to
Mhm.
that CD147 and it attaches itself, whether it's the kidney, the brain, the heart, the thyroid, the gut, the blood vessel, when it gets in a blood vessel, it gets sticky and they start throwing clots. That's why some people they were giving them blood thinners when they saw they were having clots, and now you're bleeding
Okay.
and you're clotting.
Mm.
It's
So the
scary.
clot, they were giving them the blood thinner supposedly to thin out the clots, but it didn't enhance that. All they did was is make them bleed more. And the benefit, what is the benefit of the blood thinner? It didn't
The
actually like thin the clot.
Well, they gave them the wrong type. They usually give them heparin, but they needed a low molecular weight heparin. There's a difference between those two, or Lovenox. So they were giving them the wrong type, which is what we usually give people when you come in the hospital. You're just in the bed or you're ventilated. We give you a certain type, but that was the wrong type. And they were waiting too late to get to the blood clot. By the time a blood clot goes to the brain, that's a stroke. By the time it goes to the heart, it's a heart attack. It goes to the lungs, it's a pulmonary embolism. You can die from this. So the problem is that this is why it's important to get treated early, but they're shooting down any and everything we even try and saying, nope, that don't work. But they were giving these medicines when they were doing the clinical trials. They're giving it when you're intubated. You already on the ventilator, on your deathbed. Now they want to start giving you medicines you should have got when you was at home. And they told us they will take our license if we treat y'all. Yes, they did. And you should go on my TikTok and see the trolls. The trolls come for me quick. When I even say ivermectin, I say ivermectin, I'm shadow banned. They reported me. They're like, how do you know? This article said that. I was like, listen, there's unpublished articles. Y'all think I don't know what I'm talking about. I know exactly what I'm talking about. And what you're not gonna do, because I listen, it be pharmacists trying me. I'm not the one or the two, because a pharmacist can't write y'all a prescription ever. They don't treat y'all. Neither does an RN, and neither does a psych nurse practitioner. So please, please, please consider the source. A lot of these people are paid actors.
Actors. Stress that part, Veronica, not to cut you off. I say this all the time. All of these people are in the same corporation. They all have certain parts to play, and they're all under the same guidelines and rules. I'm sorry.
Capitalism.
Go ahead. I have
They're
to say
under
it's just
capitalism.
disgusting.
It's a capitalist society.
Yeah.
And if Dr. Fauci got a patent on the cure or the vaccine, why? Because you're trying to make some money. That's $1 billion industry. And so the young Black doctors that created the nanoparticles that they're putting in the vaccine, that are saying don't take the vaccine because I created nanoparticles to cure cancer. I put the nanoparticle in there to find the tumor. So why are you putting that in a COVID vaccine? What you looking for? What is it going to do? You're giving cancer drugs to an infection. Riddle me this. Why? Why are you giving HIV drugs to an infection? By the time they give you an antiviral medication, it is too late. And not only that, the side effect of the antiviral remdesivir shuts down your kidneys. So why are we going on dialysis? Because you put us there. You listen, they are killing people. I'm not gonna hold y'all up. You need to be treated, and you need to be treated early before you start clotting, before you got the pneumonia. It pisses me off because we don't have to be here. And then even if you did get the vaccine, go get treated. Go get tested. Don't think you shouldn't be quarantined, because you should. You spreading the virus. I don't care what they tell you on TV. They're lying. Straight up. They're lying. Anybody who took a Pfizer vaccine, every time you get poked, you are contagious for 2 weeks. You are spreading the virus. You go get, and I dare y'all, get the vaccine, and within 2 weeks, go get tested and see if I'm lying. If I'm lying, I'll pay you money. I know what I'm talking about. Pfizer vaccinated people are spreading the virus each shot you get. I don't care if it's a booster. I don't care if it's the first, second, I don't care how many it is. Every time you get it poked, within 2 weeks, somebody in your house is going to be positive because you spread it to them. And y'all don't want to believe it because the TV's telling you otherwise. That TV, the journalists, Channel 4, Channel 2, CNN, Fox News, they don't treat y'all. I do.
That's right. So you're saying, just to clarify that very clearly for anyone, a lot of my listeners, sister, not only on the show, the radio, but YouTube as well, are definitely against any of this, obviously. And we have family members, obviously, that are, they believe, forced into it behind their jobs or certain things that they're doing. So what you're saying is, if they know that a family member has taken it, specifically the Pfizer shot, that they are to be very careful of them for the first at least 2 weeks because they're contagious at that moment. That's what you're saying.
Absolutely. And you can even Google this. Look at Florida. They're starting to vaccinate these children, which is so unethical. We do not do any experimentation on children and pregnant women. So now they're giving it to 12 and up. They're going to start giving it to 5 and up. Listen, they're telling you in Florida, if you decide to vaccinate your kid, go ahead and keep them at home for a month. Do not bring them back to this school. That's good. And I was like, yes, finally somebody gets it, because I'm like, all of y'all need to be in quarantine. When you gonna get jabbed, stay home for 2 weeks. Do not come up in here, because I'm not the problem. I gotta get tested every week like I got COVID and I don't got it. They walking around here like you a Superman cape with no mask on. You are spreading the virus, and then you're saying we're doing this for our patients. No, you're breathing. Well, we have masks on and everything, but you really and truly. I'll just say this: at my hospital, I had a whole outbreak of 10 positive cases. Why? Because a nurse decided to take off his mask and brought it in. So you're not protecting nobody, because he got vaccinated. The wife was sick. He started to have symptoms, and he, was dealing with patients, and that's why we were contact tracing. But we're not even doing that no more. We're not doing it. We're not even putting nobody in quarantine. And everybody, when you get poked, you need to be in quarantine. Now, I can't say for sure with Moderna, we saw more blood clots with that. I can't say. I've worked more with the Pfizer. At first, Moderna was the one to get. They were giving it to all the healthcare people. And that was like exclusive, like it was the VIP of vaccines. And then that fell off, and it didn't have FDA approval yet. And then Johnson & Johnson, they were giving to the homeless population because they feel like they're not coming back. Or they'll guilt you into taking Johnson & Johnson because, you can't take Moderna or Pfizer because it got that glycol in it. Okay, then take Johnson & Johnson. They don't got that in there. No, it got something else in there. Like, no, don't fall for none of that, and Pfizer doesn't even want to tell you all the ingredients in their vaccine. I mean, This stuff is weird. It's weird to me.
So Veronica, Chief This Sun Out is in my chat on YouTube, and she said that the COVID, of course, makes your ears ring. She said we probably once had it at one time because it is in the chemtrails. So that makes a lot of sense. I remember the ring. I did a episode actually on this about 2 years ago, specifically about the ringing in the ears. There are so many people that started getting the ringing in the ears at one particular time. It was all around the world. They were trying to contribute it to like sounds vibrating off of certain areas, but it was going on in so many different places. They couldn't, solidify that information because it didn't make sense anyway. So it makes sense that some of these symptoms they may have tested or trialed with these chemtrails, and people have been receiving it for a while. Because I remember this big episode of people with the ringing in the ears, and now that I think about that, when she says that brought that to my attention.
Yeah, New York. I'm gonna just tell you this about New York,
Yeah.
and it might not be a conspiracy. It might be. I don't know. All I know is New York is going to be releasing something in the subways in the air starting on the 20th. Is that today?
Tomorrow.
Yeah, starting on the 20th, they're going to be testing some bioweapon. I don't know. They're spraying it in the air in New York. That's all I know. So they're telling you to do all this stuff. All I'm saying is,
I know. Remember the
you
video
might
I
have to
sent you?
rethink.
Yes.
Yeah, you might have to rethink some things about New York. I foresee a lot of people leaving New York. New York has never been a place where people were supposed to stay and just raise families and habitate. No, New York was always supposed to be some type of military testing type of grounds. New York, some of y'all need to leave New York. All the stuff that they're doing, they're making it hard for y'all to stay if you want to stay alive. It's overcrowded. They're testing stuff in subways, off of platforms of subways, in the air. During peak times when y'all using the subway, y'all don't got cars. Now, why would you be spraying chemicals in the air? And announce it. Announce this. No, it's a no for me. I'm not ever coming to New York to visit. For what?
There is a video where a nurse showed the insert and it was totally blank. Are you familiar with that?
You know what? I did say that, but you got to read that whole thing. That's why I said this is what I don't like. I don't like people taking pieces of the truth or pieces of
Mm,
videos. So there's one page, it'll say this page is blank. Then there'll be 2, 3 other inserts, like turn it over or turn the page. There's 3 other, inserts. I don't have access to the vaccine, or I would debunk that. But that's not,
that's
there's
not nothing you
sometimes
really.
there's some that are there are a lot of inserts that have one blank page. It's not unusual.
Hmm. So that wasn't anything. She made it look like something because she wanted to basically get a viral video is what it sounds like. But that
Period.
wasn't. Yeah,
Yeah.
being a nurse, she knows that. Yeah, and I've gotten even scripts sometimes, and it'll have a blank page somewhere or something. So yeah, that's definitely not unusual now that you think about it.
Yeah, no, it's not unusual for it to be that. That's just one of the many inserts, and maybe somebody was playing a trick on her. I don't know. I can't call it, but I know that's not true.
Yes, yes. So with all of this, now, especially what we're saying about that, the family members, I apologize, and that people that are getting that and they're going around them. I've heard of people. I remember when they were first getting it, they were saying that people were going like into doctors' offices or they were being affected in certain areas. And I know is this why if they did receive the shot, they couldn't like take the plane or there was some type of mandate of about a month or so back. Did you hear about that, Veronica? Oh, maybe. Uh-oh, she's having a problem again with the mic, guys. Give us a minute. Lisa, let's see if you guys heard about that.
Yeah, yes, I can hear you, but it's like
It's starting to cut out again. Okay, StreamYard, we had it together for a while. Don't start.
in and out.
What- Yeah, real quick on that. Did
Oh
you now
no, this is.
you heard what she said
But
about
can you
that?
hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Did you want to say something about that? Yeah, I think
Go
I
you
ahead.
and
I
I'm
can.
back.
I
I'm
can.
sorry. I missed some of that. You were talking about the chemtrails last time, and then I missed some of it.
Yes, I was wondering, if you think that to be honest, I totally lost my thought. This is throwing me off with this StreamYard. The stream was going so great. No Wi-Fi issues, and here's StreamYard
You
going.
know it's a full moon though, so it's a full moon.
Right.
This the energy, right? So
Yes.
yeah.
Oh, you know what? Since you said that, this is off topic, but I'm going to say this rather quickly. Anybody that has anything they want to get rid of, anything that's been going on, troubles, something they just can't get rid of, write it down, burn it in front of that moon tonight. I know y'all don't believe in rituals and stuff like that. It's not a ritual. It's just something you're doing, and you're putting the faith that that thing is destroyed and burnt up, and this is the time to do it. If you have anything that you want to, manifest, you want something to come into your fortitude of anything that you're thinking about or you've been looking to do, this will be a good day to write that down, and think about those things, before your bedtime. So I just want to say that rather quickly about the full moon. You're right about that. It may be throwing some things out of whack here, Veronica.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. And you know what? I noticed it because tempers are flaring, and this is a time when you really sometimes I try to be humble. I don't really try to argue with people, especially not online. But at the
Yes.
end of the day, like I stand 10 toes down with my narrative. Because you have a self-love deficit, and your perception is your perception, but that's not the truth. So the truth will always stand steady, and
Yes.
the truth don't mind being challenged either. It's the lies for me. It's the
Hmm.
lies. So at the end of the day, the lies, they gonna start coming for your character. You don't even know me. You listen to a viral video and you think you know me. I'm not the one or the two. So with this being said, with all the energy, people gonna come real aggressive at you for no reason. And I understand stuff like that. You coming at me real aggressive, I'm gonna pick my battles. But what you're not about to
Mhm.
do is you're not gonna disrespect me. And it's a time to establish that. And sometimes you do have to push back. Also, one of my friends,
Right.
she predicted that with the children being vaccinated, this is going to be something that, this year was about family. And
Yeah.
I don't care if they're blood or not, really establishing who your family is. Now, with this whole vaccination, you're going to have husbands and wives and other family members disagreeing on if children should be vaccinated or not. So especially with, like, for me, I'm divorced and I'm co-parenting. So I made it very
Mm-hmm.
clear they're not to be vaccinated. I even put that in my divorce decree. If kids are going to hospitals, doctors, dentists, whatever, I'm taking them, not you. Because I'm the one in the medical field and I don't want you putting some poison in my kids and let me find out. That's not going to work. So we really have to start discussing these things and how you're going to move forward with your children, and also with everything that's going on in the climate and the environment. I want everybody to really prepare. Stock up toothpaste,
Yes.
toilet paper, get canned goods, anything that you need, waters, because they are creating this scarcity. Like, we don't have any food at the grocery store is never going to be like how it looked before. So start
right.
stocking up now. Don't wait till the last minute. Start buying your Christmas shopping if you celebrate Christmas. Get your stuff now, because when it gets closer to November, Thanksgiving, Christmas, it's going to be bad. It's going to be bad. And we don't know what they got up their sleeve, because my girlfriend who works for the government, she said her job is not, she works from home, and she said she's not going back to work till 2023. And I said, what? 2023? She said, yeah. I'm not going back till January of 2023. And that's everybody in my whole department. These are the statisticians for the Census Bureau, the all of these government facilities that are crunching all the numbers. They're at home. They don't want them to come back to DC. And I was like, wow. And then she said her daughter gets tested every week. And I was like, yo, her daughter's 7. They are testing the child outside of the field before she could walk into school. I said,
Lord.
that is crazy.
That's
to me.
sick.
That's crazy. Sick. My daughter is 6. She is in 1st grade. She has not gotten tested. You could diagnose COVID without putting anything up nobody's nose. If you're a clinician, the only thing that we do with these testing, x-rays, CAT scans, blood work, all that stuff, we are confirming what we already know. If you know the symptoms of COVID, everybody doesn't have to. Now, if I'm not sure, you call me on telemedicine, I don't really know you like that, I think you kind of, I'm not really sure, I'm going to send you to get a test. And just, send me the results, and then we'll get you from that. But if I'm still going to treat you. If I'm thinking you're sick, you look sick enough to me, I'm going to treat you. So it's some people want to get stuff prophylactically. I'm not able to do that. I mean, there was a physician assistant that lost his license, I believe, in Washington State. He had his own practice. He was giving out ivermectin, but they tried to accuse him of not seeing the patients and not putting a stethoscope. I'm like, well, we're doing telemedicine. I'm not putting no stethoscope on nobody. How can I? I can't. We've been doing this for 18 months. So they they took his license.
Wow.
They took his license. So we are now scared to write for ivermectin. People are not, because they're seeing somebody else's license get taken. I'm like, oh, nope, I'm not doing it. You're not taking my license. I worked too hard for this.
That's right.
So, yeah, so it's hard. I know they're scared and they want to have prophylactic medicine in the cabinet. All of us can't do that. And, it's going to be very difficult to find somebody who will. Other than that, frontline American doctors, you can go on their website. They'll do it.
They'll do, what will they do, sis?
They will prescribe you prophylactic and they'll treat it. Yep. That's that Dr. Stella. I love her. She said I'm a sniper in the spirit. I said, okay. She is not
Yes, that's like
afraid.
the doctor we need.
Yeah, she do not care. She's like, I'm gonna pray for y'all, and we gonna get you some prophylactic if you need it. So, and people, and they're hating on her. They're hating on her. Other people are like, well, they white pharmacists, white doctors, white PAs. They like, well, she done made $6 million because she's treating people. Y'all don't want to treat nobody. I mean, she's not doing it for free. Y'all not doing nothing for free. So why you counting everybody else's pockets? I just don't understand. The healthcare system is broken, completely broken, and they don't want to. There's nothing that's going to be fixed. I really believe the pandemic went from compassionate. They were really trying to solve the problem. Then it went to it went back to just let's do it how we always been doing it. And now it's just like capitalistic. Like I just don't I'm trying to see who really cares and who does it. I mean, and I know, compassion fatigue is very real. You get tired of always taking care of somebody else and you barely can take care of yourself. And then the hospital system trying to fire you and you doing everything we was a hero last year.
Right.
Now
They
we
changed that.
fired. We unemployed.
Lord.
Really?
Pay attention to how you treat people, asked Veronica. What's the name of that website? The one for the Frontline American Doctor? Do you just go to frontlineamericandoctors.com or is there a specific site they can reach that at?
Yeah, I think that's it. Frontlineamericandoctors.com or .org. You'll have to Google it.
Just
But
Google
yeah.
it? Okay,
Yeah,
great.
just Google it. It should be easy to find. But we definitely went from authentic concern from COVID, and then we're putting the processes in place, where to test people, all that other stuff. Then we went to a very superficial concern for COVID. Like, look at how far we've come. How close were you standing to that other person? I don't know. You might not really be exposed, kind of thing. And now it's just straight political. It's just political. All the legislation, all the mandates, all the exemptions. We shouldn't have to do this. Why are you changing laws for an infection, a viral infection at that? Not saying that it's not deadly, but you don't have to change no law and then put people off their jobs because of an infection. Infections can be treated.
Right.
I just don't I've never seen nothing in my 17 years of practice. I've never seen nothing like this. Never. But when you talk to the old school, though, the guys in the 50s and 60s, they said they did us like this with polio. They actually came to schools and just started giving children vaccinations without consent from their parents. I said I wish they would. I went up to the school. The principal over here, he know me. I was like, listen, I'm gonna need my kids to come home and start virtually learning because I don't trust these other parents. They're gonna get their kids vaccine and they're gonna breathe on my baby. No, I need my kid at home. And he was like, at home, we can't do that. It needs to be extenuating circumstance. I'm a home nurse practitioner. That's the circumstance. I said what I said. And he's like, oh, Lord. Let me talk to the
What it
virtual.
is.
And
And
it
that
made
is
me
right.
tired of
With
me.
having that, so listen to this. With you, we didn't talk about it on this show, but you said something about the oh goodness, the form, sis. What is the form to let them know you have medical reasons or religious reasons? What is the name of the form again? I'm sorry.
So there's a medical exemption form, and there's a religious exemption. So there's one or two. It's easier with you have to search yourself and see, based on your religion and just stick to the facts when you're talking about your religion. Like Jehovah's Witness, for instance, they don't believe in getting blood products. Even if they, are severely anemic and they need a transfusion, they do not believe in it or injecting anything in their body. So you just write that out. Other people that are Christians are saying they're using aborted fetuses. You don't even have to do all that. There's a website you can go to and just stick to the facts of what you believe if you're submitting a religious exemption, and they may call to interview you and see if that's what you truly believe or did you just copy and paste it from somewhere. But those that have been going through, for the most part, it's the medical exemptions that are harder to get because the physicians have been told by their American medical associations not to give them to you. Not only that, they have been incentivized. So based on how many, for every patient, they get money. that they vaccinate. The more people in their practice that
Mm.
if you get 100% vaccinated, my girlfriend just sent me, because she has her own clinic and she's an NP, and she was like, I guess I'm gonna opt out of this little insurance because they trying to give me $2,100 to get everybody vaccinated. And I was like, wow, really? She's like, yes. She's like, if I have 100% vaccination, I will get paid per person. Plus, I'm going to get a $2,100 bonus. And she's like, this is why them physicians ain't going to fill out that exemption. Plus, they were saying that they were scared because they were threatening their license. But if you have a legitimate reason, you have been allergic, like, for instance, your sister here who took the first vaccine and she had a reaction, that's enough for you not to get another vaccine. Or like myself, I have had a history where I was in the hospital about to be intubated because of a blood pressure medicine. I have severe
Mm.
allergies, like anaphylactic. That's life or death. I'm not putting that in my body. No, I don't do that. I don't do flu. I'm exempted from both. But I had a nurse, my girlfriend's a nurse practitioner. She filled out my form. We're not scared. Because I don't care what the guidelines say. If you have a blood disorder, you should be getting an exemption. And my thing is, when you do go to the doctor or your nurse practitioner or your PA, go online and look up an article from a reputable journal, a medical journal, and take it with you to prove your point. Like here, I can't take the COVID vaccine because it says it right here in this journal. They're not going to argue with a journal now. They're not.
They can't.
They can't.
Hmm.
That's the research. You want the research? Here go the research. Okay, so and don't be afraid to do both exemptions. If you are, or if you have antibodies, if you had COVID in the past 6 months, don't be afraid again to say, hey, I had COVID in the last 6 months, or I got the monoclonal antibodies. If you were given the antibodies, you should not be getting the vaccine in that 90 days after being treated for COVID. You will actually have a worse reaction. This is my opinion, but you need to be able to prove that. And the only thing right now, all you see, I can make a post right now with my professional opinion. All you're going to hear is a troll saying, where's the article that you got that from? I'm like, you can't even understand it if I gave it to you. What's the problem?
Ignorance,
Like,
pure
stop,
ignorance.
stop checking me. Do you check your doctor when they tell you to stop smoking? Do you tell them, let me see an article? No, you do not.
No, they
They
rather
get on
listen
my
to something that
nerves,
don't
Lord.
make sense. Yes. So you
They
said
be
blood.
getting on my nerves.
What other ailments? Like if a person has a specific illness, like you said, they'd be exempt medically from these things. Can you give me a couple other examples, Veronica? I know you said if a person is a person that has blood clots, that would make them exempt. What other things would make a person exempt if they have medical issues or currently, or they've been having them, or they've always experienced them?
I think you should be exempt if you're pregnant or trying to get pregnant. I
Hmm.
think you should be exempt if you've had COVID recently. If you have anything, kidney issues, you should be exempt because like I said, the medications and sometimes COVID itself will attack the kidneys. Um, if you, what else? If you have a heart condition, you've been on a transplant list, like that's the controversy now. One lady's on the transplant list and they wanted her to get vaccinated before she got her liver. So now she
Mm.
has to choose between death and death. Like, I'm not
Oh,
understanding what is going on.
oh
That
no.
doesn't even make sense. So they would not give her transplant because she refused to get the vaccine. Now she already is immunocompromised. And that's a counterindication because you're going to lower my immune system so my body doesn't reject this new organ from somebody else. But then you want to give me a vaccine that's also going to lower my immune system. Make
Mm.
that make sense.
Please.
I'm not understanding. None of it makes sense. And then you gaslight people when they like, you're not making it make sense. Well, the New England Journal said, I don't care what you tell me what tell me exactly how this makes any sense. Because you are giving me, COVID acts like an acquired immune deficiency. What is that? What is that? AIDS? Just like AIDS.
Mm,
No
mm,
immune
mm.
system. And then anybody who takes long-term steroids like lupus, If you
Mhm.
take hydroxy, some people already on hydroxychloroquine, like
Okay.
who else? Rheumatoid arthritis. They actually, people with rheumatoid arthritis are taking chemo. So those with
Mm.
cancers, especially any stages, you're gonna see people with cancer get so much worse because they're taking this vaccine. You're also going to see those who never had cancers. We all have cancer cells in our body, but this is activating all of that. Like every
Right.
Parkinson, MS, all of the every single cancer known to man is activated through that CD147. When it is dysregulated from something like this, or you go down that rabbit hole, that's the pathway to HIV and everything that happens with that, and every single cancer known to man, everyone.
Mm.
So they're gonna
So,
say, "Oh, that's not possible." Okay. You'll see in the next 14 months, within the next 14 months to 3 years, you're going to see a ridiculous amount of cancer and all that. I'm sick of seeing that hashtag F cancer. But I mean, you're giving us cancer medicine to treat COVID. I,
right.
Wow.
I mean, what's really, I'm trying to understand. I'm just trying to understand because I don't get it.
Mm, mm, mm.
The total
Um,
opposite.
yep, ITP also. ITP is she has an issue with bleeding and clotting. That, like you should, and her platelets are not right. Like I said, those and here's another thing. American Red Cross. You cannot, if I had COVID or I had the monoclonal antibodies, I'm not allowed to go give no platelets. And she has a platelets disorder. So you're saying that, and they say it's not supposed to be COVID tainted or whatever, but let's go back. If you go on YouTube or Google and see if you have if anybody has gotten HIV from tainted blood, they did that in the 80s. That's why the young man, Ryan White Foundation, he has legislated a law because he
Mm.
was 13 years old. They kicked him out of school. They rejected him because back then it was a gay man's disease. But he got it from a blood transfusion.
Wow.
So I'm like, what about all the people who've been giving blood this whole time? Have you been testing it for COVID? Yeah, I don't want no blood. I'm good.
Okay.
Mm, mm,
I'm good. Mm-mm.
mm.
Yep,
That is
get all that. Get your
ridiculous.
candles, get your batteries, get ready. Get ready, y'all. Get your waters, get your canned goods. We have to come
Yes.
together because we're
Yes.
the ones who put people in power. And
That's
we not
right.
gonna stand here and be no victims. Ain't nobody stupid. That's why they were
Hmm.
saying, like, even Kanye West was like, oh, you guys choose to be in slavery. You guys were bigger and badder back then. Y'all all could have came together and fought back. But no, that's historically how they broke the slaves down is they went for the men. They did so
Mm.
many things to emasculate them in public,
Right.
to make sure that when the strong one who's supposed to protect this family, you're breaking him down. No, we're not doing that anymore. Women are so strong as well, but this is a psychological, it's a spiritual warfare, and we way smarter than this, boo. Like, we're not doing this. We don't have to participate in none of it. None of it.
None of that.
It's a no for me.
Mm, mm,
It's
mm.
crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy, Veronica. And I know it for you. I can imagine a person like you that's sitting and trying to, do their job. You've been doing this for 20 years, so it's not like oh, because of this now, oh, I'm against everything with this. You having to stand your ground. That's a very strong woman. We really appreciate you. I know in the chat, Alexa was like, "We love you." Yes, yes, yes. Yes, you always bring the truth and the information. It's been
I just get
crazy. It's been
tired.
crazy.
I get tired. I lose sleep over the stuff. And it's just like, you try to do everything right. And we're the last one. You see, the black women, especially in medicine, are the last ones to be on CNN or on
Yes.
TV to give you advice. They want to tell us we're angry. I'm not angry. I'm mad as hell. How about that? I'm
Okay.
sick of this shit. How about that? Like, let's do right. So we're in altruistic. Oh, I'm taking the vaccine for my grandma. No, you wasn't. Vaccines, what I eat don't make you do nothing. So how you injected me, but then you said I'm taking it for somebody I live with. No, baby, you was spreading it to who you was living with. You was
Mm.
spreading it. I'm choosing violence today. You
Wow.
spread it. Girl, they couldn't even wrap their. I was working for General Motors nationwide. I was taking phone calls, on call 24/7. They were
Mm.
going to get their vaccines. These engineers could not comprehend nothing. When I told them, did you take the vaccine in the last 2 weeks? Yes. Now you're having symptoms. Now your child is sick. Your wife is sick. Grandma's sick. Grandpa's sick. You gave them. You got them. You got them sick. Did you know that? They're like, huh? You heard what I said. You got them sick. You took Pfizer vaccine, just like the
Yep.
last person who just called me. Now you need to go and you need to call workman's comp. See, this is what they do. They think they slick. They put the people who are on salary to stay home and work from home. Because if you have a claim and you said the job required me to get the vaccine, and now I'm sick, and not only am I sick, I'm sick for a long period of time where I can't work. That's a workman's comp claim. So
That's
they didn't want
right.
us to test them after they got the vaccine. Because if I document that I tested you and you come up positive, you were injured on the job. What?
Mm.
They don't
Injured
want you to
on
say
the
that.
damn job because I caught that dang mess at the job. What only makes
No, you
sense,
took the
right?
vaccine. That was required. It was mandated for you to take the
Oh.
vaccine. That's why when you get the vaccine, they will not test you. They won't quarantine you. You're not under the same rules anymore. I was wondering why the CDC changed the rules. Because you have so many workman's comp claims, you won't have nobody working there. You can fire whoever you want to
Mm.
fire, but eventually them people are gonna be on short-term, long-term disability eventually, and they gonna try to file workman's comp and they not gonna get it.
I bet.
Because that's why I say go get tested. I'm trying to tell you something. Go get tested. Then let me know if it's positive immediately so we can document it.
They
I'm
still
trying
make
to
us
tell you
test every
something.
week. They still make
And
us
that's
test.
okay. But here's the thing that I don't
Okay.
like. That's the accommodation for your exemption. Fine. I don't care about testing. But why don't you test everybody? Now we can put this to
Mm.
rest. Is it the vaccinated or is it the unvaxxed that's really spreading it? We'll have a lot of data then, wouldn't we?
Wow.
Yeah, I'm choosing violence. I'm telling the truth, all of it.
That's right.
Test
That's right.
everybody
That's right.
weekly. hmm
Mm.
I'll tell you who got that patient sick. I'm gonna tell you who the source of the infection was, who patient zero was. It's the person who more than likely, and then also CDC think they slick too. They'll say that the person who got vaccinated, they got only one shot or they got 2 shots, and it's day 13. They're considered unvaccinated. So take that with a grain of salt. When you
Wow.
see the unvaccinated is the one who are in the ICU dying, no, baby, they probably got 2 shots and it was day 11. So because it's not 2 weeks, exactly 14 days after the second shot, they are considering those people unvaccinated. Now,
Mm.
tell me how they not lying on the statistics.
Like asses. I can't
There's
stand
one
them.
person in the ICU all week today. Today, I checked it before I left because we get a daily email. It was
Okay.
2 for the last 2 months. It was 2 with COVID in the hospital. 2.
Girl, talk about it. Listen, Veronica, remember I was telling you what happened with my baby last week. So we went, she had the surgery or whatever. They were like, oh, she want to have this test. I'm like, listen, I was like, what you mean a test? Well, we have to make sure she don't have it and da. I said, well, she don't got it. She don't got a symptom. Ain't nothing wrong with her. Well, we can't do the surgery if she don't have the test. I'm looking like, let me see this thing. So the nurse, he let me do the test. They said he wasn't supposed to do that, but he let me. I was like, well, I want to
Mhm.
do it. So he let me do it, and I did like around her nose. They were like, "Oh, that wasn't that great." So like 2 days ago, they made her do it again. So
Mhm.
the one nurse that we saw in the emergency room, he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm here from such and such state, and I've been here for such and such time since blah blah blah. All this been going on, and I'm getting paid for." He was just talking. I'm getting paid such and such, and blah blah blah. Then he was like, and he said, "Yeah, my thing, my what he said, he called it something. I guess it's a certain whatever the intern. It's not an intern because he's actually a nurse, but whatever he was doing, he was getting paid for this particular program because of this COVID stuff." And he said
Mhm.
that it was ending. He was like, "Yeah, I'm sad now because man, I'm about to lose all this money." I looked at him. I said, "I know this man ain't just tell me this, pale man. Hold on, what you just saying?" He said, "This man, literally, I swear, this man said out his mouth. He said, I'm about to lose all this money." This was his
What
words out
money?
his mouth.
Just for swabbing you?
He said no. He said he was there for a program. He said, oh, it was so bad here in Dallas. We had to go to Dallas for our surgery. He said, oh,
Oh, you're in
it
Texas.
was so bad here in Dallas. It was so bad that they brought so many of us here to help with the cases that was going on. This was some weeks ago. So what he's saying is it done slowed down. He said they ain't got them cases. When I went in there, shit, it was damn near empty. I mean, it was like three
Mm,
people sitting around. I'm looking like, oh,
mm.
okay. Where's all this? Oh, it's so
Well,
bad.
what I know, I will say they do want to
Girl.
screen you. They always screen you for everything before you go
Yeah.
into surgery because they don't want anything to go bad. So I'm not opposed to taking a COVID test before because I don't, if I have COVID and you doing, I don't know, even the dentist too. I understand why they close it off. Like I had braces, I couldn't even go to the orthodontist. But you all in my mouth and I got COVID or I don't
Right.
know I have COVID, it's completely understandable. Or you do a surgery and you all up in my grill and I'm coughing and intubated, you don't know what you're gonna catch. You can only protect yourself so much. So I understand that. But I'm seeing a lot of surgeons get fired. I'm wondering what's going on there. All these BBLs I've been seeing, but they getting
Mm,
fired. What's
mm.
going on?
Yeah,
What's going
what
on
is
here?
this?
Because the nurses is getting the bag now. Let's make it very clear. Nurses is out here hustling. The ones who have been healthy, they are making $10,000 a week. And I'm not mad. Get your money. They are being
Get your bread,
deployed.
huh?
We are coming from Michigan. We coming to Dallas, the hot spots. We go to
Shit.
New York. I'll be here for 13. I can't go.
Girl,
I
I
got
told you.
children. I would love to come, but I got little children, and I got to,
No.
I got to watch them because
Right,
unless
right.
somebody puts something in my baby, I
Mm-hmm.
don't want to lose my kids now. So, but I would
Right.
love to come down there and make 10,000 a week, but I
Right.
cannot. It ain't, there's all money ain't good money,
That's
and
right. That's right.
you don't
Even
know
being,
what you
yeah.
walking into. Yeah, and if I see something I don't like, I'm gonna have to tell somebody about it, and it's just gonna be some drama.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know what he was doing. I have no idea what he was doing, but yes, it has slowed down a lot, and that's not what they're going to tell you on TV. They're going to ride this out. I really believe pandemic, like real pandemic stuff, is not going to be over until after the new year, at least
Mm-hmm.
February, March-ish. That's my
Right. Once you get
prediction.
warm
I'm not
again.
sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
somewhere around there because we got to get through like the fiscal years just ended, number one, and then the next quarter will be done somewhere in January. And I don't think they can keep justifying. They might put out another variant, but listen, it's 400 variants that we already know
Mm-hmm.
of. But they just going down the Greek letter system and just telling you this is that new. It's not new. But the same stuff that we treated, COVID-1 back in 2004 when Kanye was like, cover your mouth up like you got SARS. We're using the same medicines. It
Right.
works the same way. I don't care if it's a variant or not. But these new variants are coming from those that are vaccinated. That's the new variant. So the more they push it, so this booster that just came out, that's a whole new variant that's going to come out with it.
When you say that's a new variant of it, so boom, the first one, you're saying a variant, so that's the strand, obviously, is what I'm thinking. So what do you mean by a different variant? So are you saying they're grouping it up? They're giving a certain one, then
Yes.
there's something else that's gonna, okay.
Yeah, so alpha, the first version of coronavirus was in '04. This is the beta coronavirus. So it's the second version. Then they have a
Okay.
mule. Then they have lambda. Lambda was in Texas, which is another variant. But
Mm-hmm.
MU was they said it came from Peru. Now mind you, all the places overseas have a different version of their vaccine. So like what is it? Australia, I believe, had
Oh.
AstraZeneca. It's not available in the US because the US and Moderna and Pfizer is patented. Like, why does Bill Gates have a patent on a vaccine? He's
Mm.
a college dropout. So you tell me you could be a college dropout, have a computer program, and then you get to own a patent on a vaccine? And then somebody
That's
interviewed
crazy.
him and said, like, are you going to share your
Girl.
ingredients with other countries so they can make it and they can give it to their people? He's like,
Right.
no. He said
You
no. He flat
selfish,
out said no.
nasty
He's like,
demon.
we can make them, we'll make them and then we'll send it over there. But they were like, well, so-and-so, this other country said they got their own lab, just give them the ingredients. They can get millions of vaccine to their people. Since you're so altruistic and you care about the whole global pandemic, why are you only
Right.
limited to the U.S.? He's like, no, that's not the problem. We can make more and just give it to them. No, that's not how this works. This is a global pandemic. You're telling
Yes.
me that there's a South African version, there's a Peru version, there's a Russian version, there's a China version. Like, you lying.
Hmm.
You lying. You lying. So then why do they have they have about 3 other different types of vaccines in different countries. So of course you're going to get different variants from different places. We're not all on the same page, and you trying to monopolize something, and then right now it don't cost because you got funding, government funding. But when that money runs out, because it takes billions of dollars to create these vaccines, first of all. But when that runs out, oh, you best believe they already charging you now to get a COVID test. That's why they want your insurance. I was like, you want my insurance for what? It's supposed to be free through the drive-through at CVS or Walgreens. No, they charging you now. They charging.
Facts. Crazy.
We still in a
Crazy.
pandemic. Why you charging me? Like, I'm not understanding what's happening here.
I don't either.
So, Alexis, yes, thank you. I know you got the scream and shout now. Sometimes they don't hear you if you talk soft
That's
and
right.
cute. No.
We like the realness. Look, we like the realness over here. The realness. And this is
No,
the fact.
I just I don't know. Did you end up going to the hospital, sis? Did you go to the hospital and get
Yes.
treated?
Lisa. Is she talking to you, Lisa?
Yes, I'm here.
Yep. She went to the
Oh,
hospital.
okay.
She asked you, did you
Say
go to
that
the
again.
hospital when you got treated? Oh, go ahead, Veronica. I'm sorry.
Yes. Well, I was hospitalized actually twice. To get
Oh my
treated, yeah,
goodness.
for it, and they had me in this special room, and they the doctors came in there with this thing looking like an astronaut with a holes on
I
the
got
back.
those. Yep, I got that.
But
I'm not touching
treated
nobody
me like
without
I
my
was a
astronaut
big
suit.
old germ. Like, well, I was
Aw.
actually, but I mean, it just made you feel like that.
Yeah.
You couldn't be around no fam. Couldn't be around no family or nothing. It was just
It's very
mental.
lonely.
It was a
Yeah.
whole bunch of mental.
Yeah. Now, what did they give you to treat it? Do you remember what medicines you took
The medicine that they gave me,
to
they had
treat
me
it?
on.
Yes.
They had me. Now this is the craziest thing. They had me on fluids. They say I was so dehydrated. I don't know how that happened, but anyway, they said I was so dehydrated. Then they gave me something to calm me down because I have anxiety,
Yep.
and they just gave me just the. And then when I got the pneumonia, they gave me the medicine for the pneumonia and the pump.
Okay. So you don't remember? Did they give you remdesivir? Did they give you hydroxychloroquine? What do you remember?
Oh
What they
no, they didn't
gave
give
you
me none of that.
What did what did they treat you with for the
They
COVID?
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
Trying
I
to kill my
probably need
sister.
to look. No, because I was so out of it. I probably
Oh,
need
okay.
to look at my you know how you can look at your chart, sis?
Yeah, I was gonna say
Um
get a copy of your medical record and
yeah,
an EOB so that
yes.
breaks down what they're charging your insurance. That was another thing. People that went to the hospital or got really sick were not supposed to get a bill, and I bet you they got a bill. The whole
Oh, I got
pandemic was
charged
not
big
supposed
time.
to get. Oh no! I don't even
Yeah,
know who to
they
call on
they
that one.
tried to charge it big. They tried to charge it big time. But
Wow.
they send you like it's like a whole bunch of I'm walking now. I'm sorry. Um
Okay.
different
Are you
the
on your way to
medicine and
work,
stuff that you
sis?
were saying. I have to look. I'm gonna look and see. I'm gonna have to look and see.
Okay. Yeah.
But
Yeah. Let me know. Inbox me on Instagram or whatever, and let me know. Take a picture
oh,
of
here
it
it
so
is.
I can
H.
do some
Okay, here it is
research.
right here. Sodium chloride.
That's your IV
HCIV
fluid.
infusion. Um,
HCIV.
yes,
How to call?
theropropin injection. Um, these are all well, you know how they take your blood collection of the blood, basic metabolism, comprehensive, blah, 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 magnesium troponin, quantitative, CBC, auto deficient. There's a whole bunch of.
Well, just send it to me so I can break it down and see, because it'd be easier if I could read it. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna have to take a picture. And Kim, can
Yeah,
I
no
send it to you?
problem.
It's a lot. I mean, I have like 4 pages.
Yeah, that's fine. Just send in my DM and I'll go through it and tell you, okay, this is the medicine that you took. Because they had to have treated you with something, because we have protocols. Like, I can't, they were trying to accuse me on TikTok, who, again, they don't know anything about me. None of my patients are on my TikTok. It's just people started following me because I went viral with the exemption video. So they were saying, "Oh, I'm spreading misinformation," and there was nurses on there like, "How can you tell people about this? I hope you get fired." I'm like, "Girl, this is Googleable." Like, I don't even know if that's a word, but you could Google it. Like, come on,
Right,
just because you
Googleable.
don't want to tell them,
Exactly that.
like, girl, what? Like, just because you don't want to tell people their options, don't mean that I'm doing harm to the profession. Like, no, get off my page. Like, why are y'all harassing other people for stepping up and telling something that you're afraid to say? I don't understand that. Because if you say something crazy out the way, I don't have to respond to your stuff. I don't ever have to see you again in life.
You cutting out, sis.
Oh, okay. Okay. Can you hear me clear, Kim?
Yep, we can hear you now.
Okay. Can you ask her if she can't hear me?
I can hear
This
you.
was
Veronica, you can hear?
1100
Yeah, she
little
can hear you. I
I
think it
can
just
hear
cut
you.
out for a
thorax
second.
W contrast. I don't know what that is.
You probably had contrast when they did a CAT scan or whatever.
Oh, okay.
They have to put the contrast to light it up, or if they're looking for stuff like,
Oh,
they're
okay. They
probably
try to
looking
do fast.
for
But I'll
a
send
blood
you the
clot in your
copy of it.
lungs. They're probably looking for, like,
Okay.
to look for blood clots or tumors or stuff like that. They'll give you contrast in your IV, or they'll have you drink contrast so that it can light everything up. And if there's something solid or like a tumor or something, then we'll see it better on the CAT scan. That's all that is.
Oh, that stuff they put in you to highlight your
That's it.
plasma and all that. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's it. Now, they wouldn't have gave you that in certain circumstances, like if you're having allergies. Some people do have a severe allergy to that contrast, and they can prep you with like prednisone. They can give you that for like a day, or like 12 hours before you go in to take the contrast, so you don't have an allergic reaction if they really, really need it. Otherwise, people who have bad kidneys, like are dialysis or like really bad diabetics, they can't take contrast. So that's why we have to draw your blood first, look how your kidneys are functioning, and make sure that your body can handle certain things. Like, there's blood pressures I can't give you. If you're diabetic, there's certain medicines I won't give you because your kidneys won't be able to filter it out. So that's why I'm saying, like, remdesivir, they know damn well. They know very well. And just like all the other HIV medicines, it will shut your kidneys down. And you need your kidneys to live. Just like the people who are on dialysis, they cannot live without going to dialysis 2 to 3 times a week. They don't urinate. You can't urinate. All those toxins are building up. So why are you trying to shut my kidneys down? I just want to know.
Toxins.
You know this medicine shuts people's kidneys down. Why are you giving it to me?
Wow.
And you're giving medications to people who have no other choice. Like, you playing Dr. Kevorkian, low key. I'm about to call Dr. Fauci. He's Dr. Fraud Kevorkian.
Dead ass, Veronica. This pissing me off more and
I'm
more.
sick of them. I'm sick of
We
all of
gonna
them.
get
Bill
their ass.
Gates.
We gonna get their ass. People think it's a game. Shit, this man. Let me shut up.
I don't want them to see us coming. Don't say nothing. All I know is, do some research. There's 10,000 doctors, physicians that are suing the HWO. And let me say this too: if you did take the vaccine, and like Sis is going through long-term effects, and And that's why I kept telling people, wait, just wait a while, wait a while. The new version, the FDA approved, which is not even in manufacturing yet. That FDA approval was for manufacturing only. That's it. It wasn't approved to put it in people. Because
Wow.
the clinical trial ain't over yet. So that FDA approval that they was going crazy about online, it was not approved to give it to people. It's only approved to make it. So that FDA
But they done gave
approval,
it to people.
yeah, they did, because these people have entered the clinical trial though. You have to remember that there was paperwork that they signed prior to taking the vaccine. And it clearly says, do you have this, 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 and this? If you have 2 of the 10 things, like, are you pregnant? Are you this? Are you that? And you still go through with it, it clearly says, this is not FDA approved. This is a clinical trial. You signed, you date, you have signed your rights over, and you have signed like any other, like, shit, you might as well be in Tuskegee. At least in Tuskegee, they couldn't read. They were sharecroppers. They couldn't read. They were not given consent. They didn't sign off for anything. They thought they was coming to get free treatment. Ain't nothing free in the United States, y'all. Not one thing. And they did a whole experiment, had the antibiotic, which is all they needed to give these men, these black men, was penicillin. But they gave it to the white ones, and they did not give it to the black ones, just to see how bad they were going to get, how long it'll take them to die with that diagnosis of syphilis.
Mm. And make sure if they did live, they wasn't able to produce no kids that was healthy.
Listen, that syphilis goes straight to your brain. It causes dementia. You be so confused when you get into the 3rd stage of syphilis, and it is not nothing to play with. And then it's funny because somebody sent me a picture of her palms after she got the antibodies, and her palms were peeling. And I was like, syphilis, you have a rash on your palms with syphilis. I was like, I don't know what's going on here, but all you had to do was treat it. An antibiotic, it's a very cheap antibiotic, just like with HIV.
Wow.
They give them Bactrim to avoid from them getting the pneumonia when the immune system is very, very low. And there's an antibiotic you can give as well, but they don't want y'all to know about that either. So.
What's the antibiotic that's good? Is this something that you can like take a natural thing, like as a vitamin type thing, to just keep you, basically prepared? Is there something that a person should do
The big
other than if they're not into natural stuff? I give them a lot of natural things all the time, of course,
Yeah,
but
I know. Yeah, the biggest thing with the natural, I would say, is just doing the vitamin D. Okay, so they used to say, first of all, eat, if you're, I don't know if you're vegan or not, but if you eat meat, they were saying eat liver once a week.
okay,
That has,
yeah, okay,
sorry,
a
can you
lot of
hear me?
iron. I hear you, sis.
I'm sorry, can you guys hear me? Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm back. I don't know if you can hear me or not. Sorry.
we hear you. You can't hear us? You hear us, Veronica? Oh, she probably gonna come back in. She'll be back soon. So yeah, what I heard you said you were going out. You good for a little bit longer, sis, to stay on? I appreciate you coming and joining us. I know you got to get ready for work. You okay?
Right. I'm trying to do that as we speak. But
Okay.
but I'm gonna get ready and go. It was so nice meeting you. And sis, I will talk to you later. And you gave out some good information. And
I'm glad you
I will
appreciate
take a
it.
copy of the papers, the of the
Send it to my
for
email, sis,
the
so I can make sure I get it to Veronica, just in case, so you ain't
okay.
got to worry
Text me
about
the
trying to find her down. Okay.
okay
I'll text you my email.
okay okay. And Veronica, you just keep on
Oh, here she
keep
come.
on
Hold on,
giving the
sis.
good information, honey.
Hold on, sis. She had
And
dropped
thank you
off. Sis,
so
she
much.
back. Sis, go right ahead.
Yeah, so pretty much the biggest thing with they used to back in the day when
Wait,
people
hold on, Veronica, real quick. Lisa was
uh
saying something to you real quick. Go ahead, Lisa.
oh, I'm sorry.
I said thank you for giving me the good information because I can pass it along. And you're very good, very good.
Oh,
Explaining
thank
everything
you.
is clear. It's not confusing or anything. So I thank you so much. Thank you so very much.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But the biggest thing you could do right now, before, after, during COVID, is get the vitamins up. The most important vitamin I would say is vitamin D. And you should
Yeah.
be taking a high dose of that. I don't care if you're
Yeah.
eating in a
I've been
sunshine
taking that for
state.
some years, and it's
Uh-huh.
the 5,000 units, and I take that every day. So
That's good. And just make
yeah.
sure that you get your vitamin D level checked as well, because when you're in the hospital and I'm checking your labs every day, I know when you have COVID because it literally drains all of the vitamin D. And I'm like, uh-oh,
Wow.
because that receptor is fighting for, it's either vitamin D or COVID. And if COVID is winning, it's just gonna drain it. So vitamin D has nowhere to go, and so you excrete it. So I
Right.
know when somebody has COVID type of symptoms, they're going to have the clotting lab is going to be high, and the vitamin
Yeah.
D is going to be very low. So even if
Yeah.
you have to do, 5 to
Wow.
10,000, vitamin C is great.
Mm-hmm.
Vitamin A, they used to tell children when they had measles, which is a virus back in the day, is to give your children liver. Liver has zinc, vitamin A, vitamin D. Now you can also supplement liver supplements if you're not into eating meat. So it's the vitamins that I suggest for everybody. And even if you're being treated for COVID, you shouldn't have a problem. However, if you have an issue with your kidney function, you need to consult your provider. But A, C, D, zinc, very important. There's another one, Caserta. I'm not Quercetin. I'm not familiar with that one. I know I've seen it on some protocols, but I don't recommend it because I just don't know a lot about it. But
Mm-hmm.
because I'm more into what are we treating it with? Like, what prescription do I need to give at the 11th hour? And how long can I get? Even after they have blood clots, can I still give it? Because I have a girlfriend right now. She's a whole nurse practitioner. She is in the hospital. She went to the hospital. They gave her IV antibiotics for pneumonia. She's young. She's in her 30s. She got the
Mm-hmm.
IV antibiotics, went home. She is back. Now she has double pneumonia. I said, you better
Dang.
tell them to give you a Z-Pack now. Get azithromycin. And the PA was like, nah, we're not about to give you that because we don't treat viruses with antibiotics. I was like, okay, now show her this article and tell her to argue with her mama and tell her I said what I said. So she's there right now with double pneumonia. They admitted her now to the hospital. She
Mm.
gave her the article. She said, I trust my nurse practitioner colleague. She gave me this article. I'm going to need you to go ahead and run that. So they gave it to her. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm waiting to see how she does because she's decompensated. So I'm like, you make sure they get you on vitamin D and you take this antibiotic, you should be doing better. But they have to monitor her, so we'll see. But everybody that I've treated early with that antibiotic has done very well within 5 days. It's I mean, you actually feel the difference. If something's going to work, it's going to work immediately. Like
Right.
immediately, you're going to feel the difference between 12 and 24 hours.
Right.
Immediately.
Right.
Like, you shouldn't be, I'm still feeling bad and I'm getting worse and now I can't breathe. No. And you're on antibiotic. No, it's not working. Go back.
Mm-mm-mm.
My friend, I'll tell you a story. He got the Moderna. I told him not the first time. He was like, I am itching from head to toe. It's like under my skin. I can't describe it, Veronica. I don't feel right. I said, don't you take another vaccine. He went 3 weeks later, took the other vaccine. And then he's like, I can't breathe. And he got real anxious. He's driving. He's like, I don't know what's wrong. Something's wrong. And I can't breathe. I've been using my inhaler. I was like, go to the hospital right now because you probably have a blood clot. He was like, okay, you think so? Like, he's like, yeah. I'm like, go now. So he goes, and they gave him a breathing treatment, said it's his asthma, and told him to walk outside. Now, thank God it was cold. We're in Michigan. It was cold outside. He walks outside. He's like, Veronica, they sent me home, and he's obviously cannot breathe. Now, I just seen a firefighter. They put him out, and this man was dead in the parking lot. Black
Oh.
man. So I
Oh
said, if
my
you don't,
God.
I told him, walk back up in there. I don't care if they just discharge you. Get your butt back in there. Did they do a CAT scan? He said, no. Get back in there. He's like, I just got discharged. I don't care. Get your butt back in there. He went right back in there and he did a CAT scan and he had a blood clot.
Oh.
I said, and now he's admitted. He was crying. He's like, Veronica, I could have, yes, you could have died. Yeah, you sure could have. I don't play these games. I don't care. You could discharge me if you want to. I'm coming right back. Now do you take me seriously? Girl, I will
Right.
come in there. I will knock
Exactly.
everything over. I do not care. They try to do my dad like that. Listen, he didn't know I worked there because I come in, I look like a little kid. I got my sweatpants on. I just got off of work. They don't know I work there. But I will go off Do something wrong. I dare you. I'm sitting right here and I'm watching everything. Then eventually when I started talking, they're like, where you work at? Don't worry about where I work at. I work for him. Then you're not doing what you're supposed to do. Girl, I'm gonna fire somebody at the bedside. I'm like, you're fired. You're no longer his doctor. Get me somebody else. What?
Period.
Yeah, I said what I said. I don't like how you talking. I don't like the fact that you didn't even take out a stethoscope and even listen to his heart. You don't even. What kind of job are you doing here? This man has a very high blood pressure, and y'all not even trying to figure out why. So did you check his liver? Yeah, no, I'm gonna need a new doctor. You don't know what you're doing. I'm sorry.
Exactly.
I'm sorry. This is
Exactly.
not working.
Don't be playing with these people.
No, I'm not to be played with. They be like, you can't fire me. Yes, I can. You have a hospitalist service, don't you? Because I was on the hospitalist. So the hospitalists are a group of doctors and nurse practitioners that are all we do is stay in the hospital. So sometimes there's doctors that have privileges in the hospital. So this particular doctor was my father's primary care doctor, a very arrogant Arabic doctor who thought he knew everything in the world revolved around his ass. No, it doesn't. And what you're not gonna do is you're not gonna treat him like you. I treat people with liver disease all over the world. Well, not this one. So you can take yourself and go all over the world and get up out of here, because you're not doing nothing. You think you slick. Get out. My dad's like, no, old school. He was born in the 50s. So he was like, yes, doctor, whatever you say. I was like, no, Daddy, trust me. I got you. Don't worry about it. He think he's slick. He gonna try to run up your bill. No, he can get out. And I said what I said. Listen, I will go to the chief of staff if I have to. He left.
Yes.
He left, and we got a new doctor, and I got the colonoscopy and everything else I needed to get, and he was fine. But had I let him do what he was gonna do, my dad would have died. He would have died. And I knew exactly what was going on. And that's why it was funny to me. I'm like, you're laughing. He was like he wanted to hit me for real, because I get under your skin. Oh yeah, I get under your skin. And I was like, you're only mad because you don't have the courage to, like, you think you're an Arabic man and that's your culture. You don't like black women talking to you and knowing what they're talking about. But listen, I'm not married to you and I'm not in your little culture. There are cultural biases. There are stereotypes. There's all that stuff. But what you're not going to do, you're going to do your job today. You don't get to half-ass do your job because you black on a Friday or whatever color you are. I don't play those games at all. So you have to really be able to advocate for your family. And they slack on what they're supposed to do if there's no family checking up on other people. Yeah. Because they just like, oh, it's just another person. Ain't no family. Nobody really care about this person. Like look at the homeless population. I've seen so many people just dead on the. They have found people dead on the side of the road after having the Johnson and Johnson, or I don't know, or maybe even COVID and nobody cared. Listen, I don't have time. I'm not doing this. They be like, oh, it's so sad. He was homeless. Like, no, that's a human. That's a human being.
Like that doesn't mean anything. That they, it's like, of course they want to get rid of us, and the ones that they feel aren't useless to them into society, as far as like playing along with their rules and working in their corporation to help build them up and so on and so forth. They're useless, so let's just get rid of them. Of course they're trying to get rid of the homeless people. They had these people lining up for French fries and hamburgers and gift cards and all kind of stuff, like it was some sort of game. That was so insulting and ignorant. It peed me off. Even the mayors and things that were talking about it, and come in and do this and do this. Yes, promoting. Ooh, I got my burger. All this ignorance. I'm looking like, wow, this is like sick.
Okay, sis, I'm going to get ready and go. Everybody stay blessed, and thanks for listening to me. And Nurse Veronica, thank you so much. Everybody stay blessed. I love you, sis.
Love you too, sis. Have a good night at work. Be safe.
Okay, thank you.
All right, I'll talk with you later.
Bye-bye.
Yes, Veronica, I appreciate you so much too, babe. I know you've been hanging in here. Listen, we could do this another time. I don't want to hold you up too much longer. I know you doing things because you multitask. and handling things behind the scene as we talking. But I know you want to relax and stuff. You don't had a long day at work, and I definitely appreciate you. You know, we'll do this again because I love you, and you know my listeners love you too. So we definitely got to have you back again. So we'll be
Absolutely.
doing this again.
Anytime.
Yes, darling.
Anytime.
All right, sweetie.
Yes.
Much love and appreciation. Anything you want to say before getting out of here so you can relax?
Um, just just don't be afraid to look at the research yourself and try to read it for yourself. If they're referencing certain research articles, look at it and the way that we apply certain research. And I'm working on my doctorate, so that and
Yeah,
my doctorate in nursing practice is based on what is the research, and is this good enough research to apply it to the patient. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm reading what's already out there. How have we treated it in the past? How do we apply that to the person safely without experimental, doing all that stuff? So, and another thing, when we're looking at research, when I'm writing a paper and I'm doing a literature review, I'm looking at more than 20 articles. When they all are saying the same thing in all 20 of the articles by different authors, and the statistics match up and make sense, like you're not counting people as unvaccinated because it's day 13 after, then
yes,
okay, all of these different articles from all over the world are all saying the same thing. Now, I think that we can conclude that we're on the right path. Now, can we
that's right.
reproduce these results? If I give an antibiotic or an antiviral to this person, can I reproduce that in the next person? Is there something, whether it's a man or a woman, doesn't that make a difference? I need all the articles to say the same thing over and
That's
over
right.
again. And I need there not to be biased, where you're not publishing something that challenges. You don't want to publish something that may help, like ivermectin, because you want all the data to show that the vaccines are your only choice. I have a problem with that. And then
That's right.
just I want you to operate in faith and not fear. Don't be scared into doing stuff. Call a bluff. Push back. Get it in
That's right.
writing. You always have a choice. Just like we were saying, we were on quarantine and we thought we was for real on quarantine, like I'm locked up, like I'm in jail in the house. I didn't go outside because psychologically I'm thinking like, I need to stay in the house. COVID is in the air. I don't know. You
Okay.
thinking that, but we could
Look,
have at any
y'all
point.
passing it out. Y'all just passing it out like it's, a dust or
Yeah.
something.
So
Just throwing it
since you
all over.
said it's
You get
airborne,
COVID. You get COVID. Shit. What the hell?
like Oprah, right?
Girl.
So I didn't go outside, but that was psychological because we're on
Mm-hmm.
quarantine. That is saying, like, now, mind you, I never stayed in the house because I had to work. I only stayed in for 2 weeks when I got sick. But
Right.
I've never been in the house. So I never got a chance to work from home. I don't have that type of job. So I was outside. I left the house to go to work and come home. I didn't even go to the grocery store. I had my groceries delivered. So I'm thinking we are such on lockdown, and even the kids didn't gain weight.
Yep.
So quarantine, yes. 6 feet, yes. Do all of that, but go outside. Get some
Right.
sunshine. Walk. Take
Now
care of
that's something. Remember
yourself.
when you said that, you know
Yes.
what it made me think about? Remember when like you said, you were getting the stuff delivered. It was a lot of elderly people doing that. Obviously because of transportation
Yes.
issues, blah blah blah. It was people that
Yes.
were getting it, the elderly people. They were like, how are they getting it? They in the house, this, and that. The mess was being transported to these people through the food, through the groceries, through the place they was getting delivered. It's like, what? It was like,
Yeah.
to me,
Yeah.
like, come on
Yeah.
now. That was some
Yeah, because it
absurd.
lives on surfaces, and so you need to
Mm-hmm.
like wash out everything. Make sure you wash your hands. And somebody else was just saying in Detroit they were bribing them to take the vaccine. They said in Detroit the cannabis dispensaries were giving you a joint for a jab. They was
Right.
putting you in the lottery. Everybody play the lottery now. Everybody think they're gonna hit, but they ain't.
In a
But
lottery.
yeah,
Wait a
that
minute.
you were.
I ain't hear that one.
Yes, yeah. In Michigan, you were entered into the lottery, and they were giving out scholarships. If you brought your child 16 and up at that time, bring your child to get vaccinated. We gonna put you in a raffle to get a full scholarship. Now, wait a minute. Now, wait a minute. Hold up. Now, there's a
Mm-hmm.
study being done. Where is that at? Australia? I don't know. You have to Google it. They
Mm.
stopped giving the vaccine to boys. They were finding their heart was inflamed, myocarditis. For if you were, it was usually in the boys. So they stopped giving Moderna to anybody under the age of 60. They will not
Mm.
even give you a vaccine because everybody's heart was enlarged. And then it was
Lord.
mostly in boys over the age of 16 to 30 years old. They were having heart issues. And now I saw a post today and I have to verify it. They're saying if you are diagnosed with myocarditis, you have a 5-year expectancy.
Mm.
I'm like, wait a minute, hold up. What? Because I don't work cardiology. I would have to look more into it. But they were saying, oh, it'll resolve. Don't worry about it. Yeah, if you die in 5 years and these are
Mm.
60-year-old kids with heart conditions, I mean, I'm telling you, think about the basketball players. I stand with Kyrie because he's exercising his
Yes,
rights, right? So now
that's
you're going to have
right.
these basketball players. There's one guy, Brandon, I forgot his name. Williams, I think it is. He said, I 100% got a blood clot. I've been healthy, but y'all gave
Mm.
me that vaccine, and within 4 weeks, I got a blood clot. Now I can't play. These are
Lord,
NBA players.
stopping
So
their
you can't say
money.
that. Yeah, so I'm
Stopping
watching
their
LeBron
money.
like a hawk. I'm disappointed in LeBron. I thought LeBron stood up in the beginning. Then now I don't know if he took it or not, but I think because they was on his head, they always on LeBron's head. But I think he took it. So I just stand with Kyrie. Kyrie said, I'm standing with y'all. I'm not taking nothing. I said, okay. So stand your ground. Look at the laws in your states as far as exemptions go. Print out articles that are relevant to your doctor versus COVID and take it to the doctor if you're looking for a medical exemption. But just expect the unexpected and know that they may not give you a medical exemption because they have been told not to. And they've been incentivized to give you the vaccine. What else should I say? Eat healthier, but do know that they are looking to put vaccines in the plants. You can't infect a plant with a virus. So they are looking at the green leafy vegetables, spinach
Mm.
and lettuce. They will be
Everything I
putting,
eat. I'm a star.
yeah. So no, you're gonna have to just grow your own or get
Yeah,
it
I've
off
been
a
trying
farm
out
like
here.
directly. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm sorry, sis.
Yeah, no, grow your own. And just make sure it's not a GMO, it's natural, but it could
Right,
be the
right.
seeds. I don't know how they're gonna do it, but this research has been going on since 2002. So just be careful. And if you haven't been exposed to COVID or had COVID in 18 months, there's no reason for you to get exposed now. Don't go into the fire and inject yourself when you've been completely healthy for the last 18 months because you've been doing something right. Keep your house clean. And FaceTime people if you have to. You don't know their vaccine status. You don't know if they're sick. They refuse to get swabbed or whatever. The holidays are coming up. People get exposed during the holidays because everybody wants to see everybody in the house. Just be careful. I don't know where you are. I know you're in Texas. Sometimes, people in Texas, you can have a whole picnic outside. You don't
Mm.
have to come in the house. Ventilate your house also. Open them windows. Open them doors.
Right.
I don't care if it's winter time. Open it up. Get that stuff. Change your air filters. What else? Try to get some sleep. Drink your
Yeah.
water. Don't let your edges pull out. Don't pull out your edges.
Hmm.
And just be safe. Just be
Yeah.
safe. If you have a question, feel free to inbox me, Real Nurses of Detroit on Instagram. The Real Nurses of Detroit on TikTok. And I don't know. I think we'll be podcasting next Friday. Every other Friday, we are live podcasting on Facebook. The Real Nurses of Detroit.
Real Nurses of Detroit. Sis, put it in the back so I can make sure I'm putting it right.
Okay.
In there for them because I don't want to misspell or anything because I want to make sure it's right. And then I can put it in the chat real quick so they can make sure they follow my girl because y'all know she brings the real. Y'all know. Yeah, listen on the low. This is information that you're not getting anywhere else. She is giving it to you on the real. She's been doing this almost 20 years and she is making sure that everybody that is in her earshot is aware of themselves, and making sure that they're protecting themselves and all of this. So we just need to make sure that we are I'm sorry, y'all, I'm trying to copy it real quick. We need to just make sure
Okay.
that we are paying attention, listen to everything she's saying. She's not, she just got out of work. She could be doing a lot of other things. This important information is something she wants to get out. So we're just trying to make sure that you guys are aware of it and you're able to make sure to, make the right decisions for yourself and not let people make choices for you and make decisions
Absolutely.
for your
That
life.
part right there. If nothing else, I want to empower you. And at minimum, you should know the good, bad, and ugly about everything. That's called informed consent. If you haven't been informed, then you should not feel helpless or do anything out of fear or because you think you're going to lose money. No, be empowered. Read, go to get a good source, and don't listen to what, because they discredit my girl, Dr. Stella. You know, they think she crazy, she demon, whatever. No, they just not ready for the spirit. She's like, everything I'm talking about is in the Bible. I'm talking about the Nephilim, the giants that were on the earth. Like,
Yeah,
this is
they don't
pure
know.
evil. They don't know nothing
Yeah,
about that. She's like, it's in the Bible.
it's
I can tell
real.
you where it's at. I'm a whole pastor. What are you talking about? But they took that narrative and ran with it. So that's what they do. When you talking too much and you going against the narrative, they're gonna bring out anything they can find on the internet and say, look, she's not credible. Look, she worships the devil or some crap. And it'd be like something I
Yes.
was in high school with a devil outfit on or something. Like, come on. Like, consider the source though.
Mm. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. We just got to make sure and knowing our rights. I was talking to a lady and I was saying how, oh yeah, they made my sister take this shot for her job or either lose her job or whatever. She's like, they didn't make her do that. She said she wasn't forced. She said she had
Nope.
a choice. She said
And
she had a choice.
that's the
I was
thing.
like, yeah,
And
you're
that's the
right.
thing. And people not realizing that you looking back, retrospect, hindsight is always 2020. You gonna look
Yeah.
back and then you gonna ask your neighbor, like, how you get out of it? I got an exemption. Well, how you know about it? I heard about an exemption, but I didn't think I could actually get it. Well, did you make an appointment with your doctor? Did you actually take the form and try to fill it out? Did you turn it in?
Yes.
I mean, I'm not understanding because they're never going to advertise your choice. They want you to go in one way. Think about all the advertisements
Mm-hmm.
you see. They're advertising what
Spellbinding.
they want you to do. So even on
The
Facebook, as a
spellbinding.
business owner, all I want you to do, hey, click the like, click the share, click the subscribe. I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna advertise what I want you to do. I'm not gonna advertise your choices because I don't want you to choose nothing else. It's completely narcissistic. Okay. They're gonna tell you this is what I want you to do. Now, when you expose a fraud, I'm gonna just say it like this, and I'm gonna let y'all go. When you start exposing fraud, they must rely exclusively on force. That's it. That's my mic drop.
That's your mic drop. You had a couple of mic drops. Yes, and like you said, like you said, putting it on there, it's so crazy. It's the implanting of the whole building blocks in the brain. It's for me. I get so disgusted when I
So
talk about it
much.
a lot, and I know they kind of get tired of me sometimes, probably on certain panels, because I jump up there and I'm like, listen, because they hear me, but they don't really hear me because they don't understand the whole facts of it. But it's like those building blocks that are planted, and there's so many different seeds of those building blocks. And like you said, with those receptors taking in that information via those different forms, all of our senses that are connected, and these things are all going, and they're part of what's putting them planning, writing this information on your brain, making you think this, see this, believe this, and falling up under their brainwashing system. So it's just crazy. But
And it's
with,
not even a brainwashing. They have studied how to make people conform as a group. There's an
mhm,
experiment. You can look at it when you guys get off the phone or off the podcast. It's called Ash Conformity Experiment. And you'll see this is like from the 60s or the 70s. It's a group. And then, they'd say, okay, you'll completely change your mind and you won't stand your ground because, your mama, your cousin, your whomever, you will conform to fit in with the group. Nobody wants to be outside of the group. And my friend said, hey, listen, you real loud and you really speaking truth. How many friends do you think you want? Because you're not gonna have too many. And I was
right,
like,
right.
listen, I'm not about to
That's
be
me.
quiet though. I
That's
ain't about to
me,
be
sis.
quiet. Like, you telling me what to do? I know you're not telling me
Right.
what to do. No, because you told black women for so long to be quiet. I'm not gonna be quiet. I'm educated. I know what I'm talking about, and
That's
I'll
right.
go against anybody. I want to talk to Dr. Fauci. Like, we can talk because I got questions, a lot of them. But yes,
Hmm.
there's an Ash conformity study, and they put this on the MCAT for those to get into medical school. They teach these things of how to interview and how to get you to conform, to do what they want you to do. That's why you don't see doctors saying nothing. They're not gonna say nothing unless it's for the vaccine. You're not gonna see anybody go against it. No,
That's right.
nope.
That's
And I'm
right.
gonna put
That's
the
right.
I'll put the link so you can thank you guys so much for having me. I know I
Yeah.
be going on a tangent sometimes. It's a
Girl,
lot.
listen. You know I love it. It's
I
great.
know.
We listen. We gonna do this again. That's all right. They'll be ready for the next segment so they can get some more of this earshot because you know you be delivering it. You deliver the truth. You deliver the information. It's very clear and concise. Like Lisa said, a person's able to take this in and really get it. So that's what we really appreciate and love about
Yes.
you, darling. So we definitely can't wait. I know I can't wait till the next segment for you to just get people informed on a lot of this stuff that they need to think about when it comes to themselves in general and even their family, whatever they can influence when it comes to certain parts of their family. So let me collect this and put it
Yeah.
in here. Yeah, so we got
Yeah,
to
so
do
I
that.
just dropped you guys check out this video when you get a chance and definitely give her some likes and some love. I'm gonna shout you out on my podcast and I'll try to take a piece of a clip of this and put it on my TikTok. I got like 22,000 on TikTok. I need to get that up too. Like I
Oh,
see some
yes.
people with a million and the 100,000 and they be trying to discredit me and I'm like, girl, come on my
Bye.
podcast. We can talk live. You want to
Hmm.
make videos about me? Come talk live. Stop taking pieces of what I'm saying and try to discredit me. Let's talk face to like. Come on. I ain't
You know
heard
they
from you
can't
yet.
look. They ain't gonna face no truth. They talking that junk behind
Hey,
the scenes. They behind the scenes hiding like a coward. They is. You know they ain't gonna face
listen.
that
I told
truth.
Pouty she in the comments. Tell him. I say real quick. Listen, I'm from Detroit, so watch how you talk to me. You better talk to me nice, like, cause we not to be played with at all.
That's
East
right.
side, west side, we do not play over here. I don't think the most dangerous person is an educated black woman. Don't do that. Let's not do that because when I clap back, you're gonna be trying to report me to the authorities, and I don't like. Listen, I don't ever have to choose violence, like real violence. But when I shut you down, you're gonna look real dumb. And all they want to do
Right.
is go. They threaten me with reporting my license for what? Because I'll drop some knowledge that you didn't know. Oh please, girl, bye.
Haters, the haters, yes, the haters. They can't help it though. It's just the envy. They want it. They want it. They don't know how to get it, or sometimes they see stuff in other people and they just don't strive to be that person. Just be yourself and bring out what you have to
Absolutely.
offer. It's not hard. It's not hard at all.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm gonna try to drop my the link for my TikTok down there about
Yes.
the exemptions too. But yeah. I hope you guys can come on. And yeah, you don't have to have a TikTok to get on TikTok either. TikTok is very, believe it or not, is very informational. It's not just dancing. I don't do any dance videos at all. Um, Everything about my page is just it's about me and it's about what I know, what I found out, and how can I make it in 3 minutes or less. How can I teach you something different about what's going on in the medical field? I'm not. But yeah, you can get on TikTok without having a TikTok. Like I'm about to send you a link, and
Okay.
you can watch the videos and not have a TikTok at all, or you can create a page of your own and just be on there to watch. A lot of people just come on and they just watch and then they leave. Like Instagram. You
What you say, Veronica? You said like Instagram something. You cut out for a second, babe.
okay? I don't know if you can hear me. I get
I can hear
kicked
you
off
now.
every
Can you hear
time.
me? Can you hear me, babe? Oh, she done dropped off, y'all. She need to drop off and get her little butt some sleep because she like me. She can go. Y'all know how when I get to talking, boy, I can't stop. And then when it's information, you be wanting to get people to hear it, you want to get it out, and so on and so forth. It's so hard to kind of cut it off or cut it short. I'm forced to a lot of times. So, but yeah, she's back, guys. So yeah, go ahead, Veronica.
Yeah, just thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. I didn't want to say much of anything else.
All right, babe. I appreciate you. I was just saying while you was out, I say, yeah, you up here, you like me. We be trying to make sure people know what's going on and talking, and it'd be hard to kind of cut yourself off, but you've been working all day, babe. I really appreciate you. I love to keep talking. You already know I can run my mouth too. So it's all good. We're gonna be ready for the next time. I want you to get some rest so you can continue to do what you do and take care of our people the right way tomorrow and be all fit and ready and rested up, babe. So we appreciate you, and we'll be doing this again soon.
Thank you so much. You guys have a good night.
All right, sweetheart. You have a good one. Yes, yes, guys. We love Veronica. We love Veronica. She is like so freaking awesome. I always run into, great people. Veronica was actually introduced to me by my daughter. And I think a couple of weeks ago, I was just talking about certain things, and when it comes to this, what's going on now, and I said, I wonder if I should have her on the show, because she does the Detroit nurses, and she's been on TikTok, so I know she does want to keep people informed. So, I think it's great that we're able to have intimate conversations with her, for her to be able to explore things with us and make sure that we are informed, like Lisa said, really telling us, the truth and letting us know the things we can do to help ourselves, keeping us prepared, making sure that we're doing good and we're taking care of ourselves and making sure we're getting our families, prepared if they listen. I know a lot of times the family want to listen. They think they know whatever, or they want to follow the other things. But, just making sure that we're in the right spaces and the places to learn the things. And if you are here with me and you have been here listening to Veronica and her wonderful words that we were blessed with, from what I feel in my heart, everything there was a lot of confirmations on certain things when she was talking about the sensors and things. You guys know I talk about the neurons and the nerve endings and things that affect us when it comes to like the foods and the chemicals and the disruptions and all of that. So just some of the stuff she was talking about is a confirmation. I don't know if you guys heard that with your inner ear, but just showing you that your health and keeping your health in order will help to guard you against these things. I won't get into the spiritual aspect of it, but it's a lot more I can get into. I'm not going to hold you guys much longer. It's been a little over 2 hours. It's been a beautiful build. I put the link out. Nobody really had questions. I guess she look. She said it all. Like she said, mic drop. When she said that last thing, she had a couple of mic drops, so it wasn't too much more for us to talk about or say. I'm just thrilled that she had time. I've had an awesome week. My baby last week I didn't really say, but I had incident emergency with her, emergency surgery Friday. Then she had to go back Monday for another surgery. Then the third one, yesterday, which was the hardest one. So she got through that very graciously and well. Her being so young, her surgery, she was very nervous about it, anxiety, all of this stuff. It was hard. I'm doing a lot with her right now to make sure she is healing properly. And yes, she is awesome, brother. Thanks so much for asking. My baby is doing awesome right now. She isn't, she's still in recovery. It's going to take actually about 2 months for her to recover fully, but she's doing really good. And she's very strong, of course. And she's a sweet girl, so she'll do good. Keeping her mind in the right space, stuff like that. It always helps her to feel better. She my baby girl, so she's spoiled anyway. Everybody's spoiled her, from my oldest daughter to everybody. So yeah, she being pampered, my little princess, and that's pretty much that. So yeah, we're doing excellent over here as always. Everything is always awesome and great from my standpoint, even when it doesn't look like that from somebody else's standpoint all the time. I like to look at things in the positive because in that way, they can stay that way. You looking at it in a positive, you're leaning toward the direction of the things that are going to be uplifting or motivating. You have no choice but to feel that way. So, that's how we kind of operate in my camp. So it's all good here, even if it don't look good, it's good. But yeah, guys, it has been a beautiful build. Y'all know we're gonna have Veronica back soon. I love her. She is just a sweetheart. She is a beautiful person. She has a genuine heart. She is doing what she needs to do for our people and making sure they're being treated to the utmost that they can and in the correct way and not just being floundered upon. So yeah, I just commend her. And we need to make sure we're supporting her, y'all. I put all her information in there, so y'all make sure y'all go back there and get the information. And I think there's something else. What's this? I think this her TikTok video. If I didn't drop it, I'm gonna take it again. But yeah, support Veronica because we got to make sure we supporting her at all ends. There's a lot more going on behind the scenes. I'm, not chatting about or talking or saying too much about, but just make sure you guys are staying in tune because there's a lot. There's a lot in store when it comes to us being prepared and ready and so on and so forth. So thanks so much, guys, for joining us. It's been a beautiful evening, and make sure you guys are taking care of things in this full moon tonight, writing down things you want to destroy and get rid of and, get out of your life, exercising it out in front of that moon and just burn it up and get rid of it, destroy it. Anything good you want to manifest, write it down, think about it, meditate over it, and just bring those things into your fortitude for what you're looking for in the next months to come, right? All right, guys, y'all already know I love y'all. Nothing but love, peace, and energy, greatness, fullness, all of that. If you got anything that you can do to share with somebody, make sure y'all doing that. Keeping stuff in your car. It's getting a little cool now. Y'all, those little $2, $3 blankets, they be having at the little stores. You can grab a couple of them. You see somebody, give them a blanket or something. It's not that cold here, but I know it's cold a lot of places right now. So just be thoughtful and kind and caring, something to drink, a snack, whatever. That's about it, y'all. Peace, love, blessings, and until next time, I'm out.